Mesoamerican pyramids built by Africans? Not the case. Pyramids were independently designed on different continents in different time periods for different purposes. Furthermore, pyramids became the ideal blueprint of ancient engineers from around the world who were trying to build towering structures. This ideal arose after many failed attempts to build high-rise buildings collapsed when their stone columns failed. The ancients settled for the pyramid structure because the pyramid has a broad base that can hold up the weight of the entire narrowing upper half of the structure, which weighed less. You have to consider the fact that iron beams and reinforced concrete weren't invented yet. Indigenous Mesoamericans used pyramids mainly as the centerpiece of cities and to mark the seasons and to align to the heavens. Even the ancient mound builders such as the Mississippians often used their pyramid mounds to be the centerpiece of their cities and to mark the growing season, and also to mark their cosmology. While North Africans used pyramids as a tomb for emperors and to align to certain star constellations such as Orion's belt. However, there were a few exceptions of ancient cultures who did manage to build high-rise buildings, such as the Romans and Anasazi, who were able to build multi-story buildings using their respective complex architectural engineering skills. The Romans were able to build a few buildings up to 10 floors. But they had to use the arch design that was built into the walls to hold up the weight of a 10-story structure. But it was still a struggle for the Romans to build multi-story buildings. The Anasazi of the American Southwest were able to build huge stone buildings up to 6 floors, but they had to build square room sections stacked on one another, with some parts of the building having more floors than other parts. These Anasazi buildings were spread out apartment complexes which distributed the weight on many stone and wooden beams. Some buildings were designed like a horseshoe layout to support the weight of a huge 6-story building. The Anasazi used stone walls held up with wooden and stone beams, but they couldn't build towering structure that went straight up on all sides of their buildings. These Anasazi buildings still rivaled the buildings of the Romans and Greeks. Most large civilizations of the ancient world, at least before the Middle Ages, were able to build at least 2- or 3-story stone buildings using either wood or stone beams, such as the Mali and Egyptians. Black supremacists such as the Hoteps and Sarah Seti have claimed that black people built all the pyramids of the world, from the Americas to Eurasia. That's not the case.